our glasses are different sizes because Daniel broke... Actually, you broke one of each set, right?
Yeah. So we're celebrating over champagne because it's our first year anniversary.
So good.
That's nice.
So this cake here, it's not a full cake, it's just a piece. This is actually a slice from our wedding cake from 1 year ago.
We froze it up, and after 1 year, we thawed it, and we're gonna try out our cake. That's good.
How is it still good? I thought it'd be like freezer burned and really stale, but it's actually still really good, and I have a whole scoop of icing.
We got a good cake for our wedding, huh? Melts all the cake down. Finish the rest later?
Later, yeah. This year so much has happened. We've had a lot of ups, a lot of downs, and then a lot of things that have helped with the downs as well, which is what we'll discuss in this video.
So for some highlights, we got to do a lot of traveling this year.
The first trip we did was our honeymoon. We went to Morocco and we went to Spain, which was awesome. Such an experience. It was my very first time in Africa and also my first time in Europe.
It was late August that we went on our honeymoon, and then not too long after that, in December, we got to go to Singapore.
My favorite!
So we got to go on this trip because an entertainment company wanted to fly me in to do a DJ gig. And then I got to bring Kim along because I know how much she loves Singapore.
Then in April through May, we went to Europe and did a Euro trip. We went all around Eastern Europe, checked off a lot of places on our wish list, and even got to visit some of my family that I've never met before.
That's when Kim had finished her school.
It was like a grad present. We left right after grad.
And then quite recently, in the month of July, a client was getting married, doing a destination wedding in Colombia, and he wanted me to DJ his wedding. So I got to bring Kim along with me and make a vacation out of it. And we got to visit 3 cities, Bogota, La Calera, and also Cartagena, where the wedding took place.
Another highlight from our year of marriage is that we actually started this channel, our We the Kims vlog channel, which has been really exciting, and we've been really happy watching it slowly grow.
But of course, you know, marriage is not just happy ever after. Like, it's really tough. And so we've had some tough things come up in our first year of marriage. One of the things that came up was our triggers. We discovered that when I was reacting to my triggers, it was triggering Kim's triggers, and she would react, and then I would get triggered, and we're just triggering one another and going down this downward spiral. We also had a difficult time navigating through our very different communication styles.
Polar opposites.
So the way that I communicate, it's very linear and concise. I use very few words, and I'm kind of obsessed with efficiency.
Kind of a little bit, just a tiny bit.
And I only like to cover one topic at a time, you know, finish this topic, then move on to the next one, and then move on to the next one, so that we don't have to return and go in circles or anything like that.
My communication style is really different than Daniel's. It's the complete opposite. Because I'm an external processor, I have to verbalize everything and really think out loud. Just so many thoughts.
Sometimes it's like an overload of information too, because she's saying so many things, and I don't know what to absorb and remember.
Another aspect of marriage that was really tough was our finances. Money was tight and it was really tough. Because I was in school, I had very limited time that I could work, and I would pick up gigs when I could, and I would work part-time jobs, which didn't really pay all that well. And of course, Daniel lives an entrepreneur life, which has its up and downs as well. I'm sure we'll get a million questions on how we're able to travel with such a small budget, but we'll definitely go into that in another video. Just really briefly, it's been a combination of gifts, work trips, and using our savings in that way.
And I think the last big thing that really made it tough in our first year was time. I am very stingy about my time. Time is everything that I need to build up and create everything that I do. And it was a very difficult adjustment to be working at home, but also living together and having Kim ask me questions, ask me for favors, and all that kind of stuff during what I consider my work hours.
Another thing with time is whether you're a student or an entrepreneur, so many things are demanding so much time, and so time that we would spend together, we would usually be talking about administrative things we need to get done, and so a lot of our conversations revolved around these stressors. And I think that's something that we're still working on, is making time for each other and also not just spending time talking about those stressful topics.
And all these challenges that we've discussed, we're going to talk about them in more detail in other videos.
Although we experienced a number of difficulties during our first year of marriage, a few things really helped us out.
So the first thing I would say is our perspective. So I think the common perspective people have about marriage is that it's all about happiness and compatibility, and that your spouse is responsible for your happiness. The problem I see with this perspective, though, is that if there is a time where there's a prolonged period of unhappiness and just frequent clashing, then it will appear like your marriage and your spouse is no longer serving their original purpose. But we have a different perspective about marriage. We believe that marriage is a lifelong commitment with no conditions, no limits. And we expect our happiness level to fluctuate as our inner issues, our triggers, and our personal sense of what's fair flare up, which is bound to happen in a marriage. And when this does happen, instead of seeing our partner as the cause of our unhappiness, we see it as, hey, this pain is signaling my need to work on this issue that I have inside of myself. And then as we do that, we become better people in the end, more well-rounded and stuff.
Another thing that really helped us in our first year of marriage is our marriage counseling. At first, when we first got married, and even before we got married, when we were doing premarital counseling, we would do counseling about once a week, and then later started doing it twice a month, so every 2 weeks.
These are all the receipts from our marriage counseling.
More.
You know, the first year there's so much adjusting to do, and we thought, why not have a professional help us navigate through the year where there's so much that happens. A lot of people, they try to overcome their difficulties and challenges and obstacles in life alone. But there's no need to when, you know, there's other people who have gone through it before, right? So it was also very important for us to have a community that we can go to and share with them the difficulties that we're going through, and they would help us. And so for us, church really helped us out, the church community. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video and just hear about our ups and downs of our marriage. We hope to share more videos in the future just about how we worked out our problems, and maybe you guys might find it helpful for your relationships, your marriage too.
We hope that by watching our videos, we can save you guys from going through some of the challenges that we went through, or if you are already going through them, hopefully you can get through them with a little bit more ease.
Thanks for celebrating our anniversary with us, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.